I'm in here too. I haven't gotten too many of these, but have you ever gotten any random people, like, whether it be probably a text, hey man, how's it going? Any chance you got tickets to available for Caps Game 4 of the Stanley Cup?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that, Tim, because I'll tell you something. So, I'm not a very handy person, and I can do a few things around the house, but when it comes to, like, heavy-duty home improvement, I suck. I know you're shocked looking at me, but it's not my forte. So, I say that because we found a handyman that we use a couple times just to fix a couple things around the house. And so, he's been to our place a couple times. He respackled and painted something, installed something for our sink. No big deal. And then, during the baseball playoffs, I got a text from this guy. He goes, hey man, any chance you could get me Nats tickets? I'm like, no. I barely know you, sir. You came to our place, you fixed our sink, you painted something, I paid you for it, I appreciate the work. I don't know you. And by the way, who am I? You know, what do I, I was like, hey, you think you can get me no. I was like, I'll see what I can do. Never texted him.
I'm honestly happy to help people for lesser profile games, and if I know, like a buddy of mine went to Providence a couple years ago, and the radio station I worked at was the flagship for Georgetown, and I knew no one ever went to Georgetown games. I'm like, hey man, you want to go to the game tonight? He's like, yeah, sure. I got a bunch of tickets, sure. So, like, I'm happy to do that, but yeah.
If I know somebody, I'm more than happy to if I can.
And it's, usually for lesser pro, like a friend of mine, I have more of a distant friend asked for tickets to a Redskins-Patriots game this year, and I was like, yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Sure.
I mean, let's be honest, the Redskins aren't very good, and usually you can grab those tickets. But, yeah, for playoff games, it's pretty cool.
Well, like I said, if it's someone I know or someone I want to help, I'd be glad to do it. But it's weird to have someone that you really don't know at all. For example, the same person, by the way, let's put this in perspective. So, he was preparing something, and I go, hey, can I get you something to drink? Yeah. And he was pouring something, he goes, really use a Diet Coke. I was like, all right, well, we happen to have Diet Coke, so I'll get you a Diet Coke. The man knows what he wants.
I guess it's knowing what you want. We're going to get to some bets here. Adam Wise, I believe, has a story he wants to weigh in on. Does this ever happen to you, Adam?
It's just, I want to say I have the Q rating that Jenks has because I'm not on the air, but often when people find out what we do for a living, we're actually talking about that back here. The natural reaction be out at a party, meeting some of you, and you tell them what you do. Oh, so you must get just tickets to all the games. And what I want to say is there's not a ticket tree that's just like that commercial that's just around the office that we just put tickets off of it. It doesn't really work like that.
I think what we need to start doing is just carrying around random tickets to a game. Like, well, funny you should say that. I have a ticket to the Wizards-Pistons game on Tuesday. Here you go, sir. What do you know? It's all yours. It's all yours. Well, we do not have tickets to the fight. One way or another, we're going to watch this fight.
Yep.
And we're using the odds from DraftKings. So a little bit more value on Deontay Wilder, minus 125. Tyson Fury, plus 105. Jenks, how are you going to bet this fight?
I think, well, I'm definitely going to bet on Deontay Wilder, and it feels like a square play, but, I think everyone's on Deontay. It's not just the public. It's not like there's sharp action on Tyson Fury. If you're going to bet Tyson Fury, I would bet on a decision. Yep. If it goes that far, if it ends up being a decision, I like Tyson Fury, but I ultimately think that Deontay Wilder, you know what, I'm probably just going to lay the juice, and I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it here in the next hour or so before tomorrow, because as John Murray said, and as we all expect, there's going to be a flood of money come in, not just on this fight, but on Deontay Wilder. I'm willing to lay the juice just for a knockout. I think this is his time. I think he learned what he had to do in that first fight, and I like the guy. He talked to us.
I know.
Ultimately, this has nothing to do with the fight itself, but I like Deontay Wilder. He spent a lot of time with us, and so I'm going to lay the juice with Deontay Wilder. I think he wins in a knockout, and also, I have to admit, after having talked to him, I'm rooting for the guy.
Yeah, he's been on the show a handful of times, twice leading up to this fight, including yesterday. If you missed that, we'll play it back for you at 5:35 Eastern, both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So we'll play the best of those two interviews. And look, I think John Murray just said it right, and we say it sometimes on this show, don't get too cute.
Right.
If you like something, just play it. But I do feel like if Deontay Wilder's going to win this fight, and this isn't anything, crazy to say. Chris Mannix said it, and anyone you listen to, Deontay Wilder's going to win this fight. If he wins this fight, he's going to win by knockout, right? So you get plus money. So the bet I have made on this fight is Deontay Wilder to win by knockout at plus 125. Because I'd be stunned if he won this by decision.
Yeah.
He has 43 professional fights, 41 have been won by knockout. One draw, that was against Tyson Fury. And if you like Tyson Fury, now you could get that at just regular plus money. I would just take plus money for Tyson Fury if you like Tyson Fury. But if you do want to get a little cute, you can get it by decision by plus 170. And that's the way people have really broken this down to simplify. If Wilder wins, it'll be by knockout. If Fury wins, it's going to be by decision. And if you look at those two things, you can get decent plus money on both sides. I like that. That's Jenks. Hey, in 1 hour in the books. It's Friday.
Napa salutes the cars out there, still getting it done. Like the over-the-hill SUV. Back in its prime, it was built for the Amazon jungle. But even if the biggest river it's crossed is a puddle in the health club parking lot, it deserves quality parts. So get the part you need to do it yourself at one of over 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores, or leave it to the pros at one of 17,000 Napa Auto Care centers. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
Would you know what to do if you encounter a wrong-way driver? Let's hope you never find out. But if you ever do see a wrong-way driver coming at you, slow down, safely steer away, and get off the roadway. At night, drive defensively and be aware of what's ahead and around you. And if you see a sign warning of a wrong-way driver, safely move toward and take the next freeway exit on the right. Drive aware. Get there. Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
KQFN Tempe, also broadcasting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24 OEU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. See Sports.
Sports Flag.
Remember, Jackman, the support is brought to you by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and auto insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. The Lakers haven't disappointed since their big summer makeover, going 41-12 in the first half, the best in the West. They're back in action after the All-Star break and will host the Grizzlies. Anthony Davis said they have to keep the same intensity.
Technically, the second half of the season where guys come back from All-Star break and teams pick it up, and so we have to do the same thing. But we have more than enough to be able to make sure that I understand the West, but to win basketball games, we want to make sure that we come out and pick it up like we left off defensively.
As of now, this matchup is a first-round preview as the Grizzlies lost to the Kings last night in Sacramento. Everyone is chasing the Bucks to the east. Milwaukee a winner last night in Detroit. The Celtics are trying to make a run, closing the first half with wins in 8 of 9, but still 8.5 games behind the Bucks. They opened a 4-game road trip in Minnesota. Head coach Brad Stevens said these final 28 games give them ample opportunity to overcome a disappointing start. This is about, being ready to compete. And a lot of tonight is about shaking off the rust of not only not playing for a couple of days, but more so just the idea it's important to be able to take a step back. It's important to be able to take a break. And you lose your edge. Kemba Walker remains out with a sore knee, while Carl Anthony Towns is out once again for the Timberwolves due to a wrist injury. I'm Richard.
Listen to CBS Sports Radio anywhere you take your smartphone with the radio.com app. Free in the Google Play and iTunes App Store. Whether you're betting the money line or the spread, it's time to cash